Gonna take my spade.
Gonna take my spade.
Dig a hole in the ground.
Dig a hole in the ground.
Gonna take my spade.
Gonna take my spade.
Dig a hole in the ground.
Dig a hole in the ground.
Gonna take my spade.
Gonna take my spade.
Dig a hole in the ground.
Dig a hole in the ground.
Gonna plant a tree.
Gonna plant a tree.
Before the spring comes round.
Before the spring comes round.
It's quite useful to have two people. Yes. You go down.
No, I've had a nice one. Yeah. No, I've had 6. Yeah. I've had 6. Yeah, I've got 6.
Gather around the ropes. That'd be super, thank you. Good morning, and isn't it a wonderful good morning? Those of you who were here a year ago, January the 20th, 2010, who remembers that day? What do you remember about that day? Cold, yeah, that's my first memory. Any other memories about that day a year ago? Snowy, yeah, it was really snowy and really cold. Something else happened, I can't, what happened on that day? A tree was cut down. And it came down in a mighty crash, didn't it? And since that year we've been really busy working with you guys in schools.
Welcome to Blenheim and the ceremony. There's an old song that says what a difference a day makes. Well, it certainly does. Today we got the sun out, as you know. Last year it was snowing and horribly cold. So it's lovely to be here on this nice winter's day still, but it's beautiful sunshine. As you know, this tree was felled this time last year, and as he said, it's actually 223 years old now. But when you wrote it, it was last year.
Yes.
So it's 1 year older now, but it's all dead and chopped up. But it's a very well-known tree, and a lot of people have heard about this famous tree. And now we're about to put a new generation of trees down in this wood, and each one of you is going to plant a tree, which is very nice. And I'm going to be planting the first one, and then you will all be planting a tree afterwards. And they'll have a guard round them to look after them. And then I hope some of you will be able to come back in a few years' time and you'll see how well they're growing. At least that's what we hope. And anyway, I now will have much pleasure in unveiling this sculpture, which was done by Mr. Simon Dennis, who's here, and he made this beautiful sculpture. And you see it's bolted well into the ground so that nobody can take it away. But I'm told it will go once or twice away to various shows to be seen. And I have now much pleasure in unveiling this sculpture. There we are. That's all part of the well-known.
I wanted a story to be on the site where the tree stood. So this side of this carving tells us something about the tree itself. So here is where the acorn was planted, and that was 1788. This carving here shows you the height of the tree. Did anybody know how high the tree was? Apart from very, very high. No? 24 metres. It's written on there. The whole tree itself weighed 14 tonnes. So this symbol here is the symbol for weight, 14 tonnes. And this is the crown of the tree, and that was 17 metres across. So this is all about the tree, and this is all about what we do with the tree. And this is a chainsaw. That's what cut the tree down, and it cut it down in 2010. Later on you can all come up and run your hands and feel this. This is one of the saws that they cut the timber up with. And here is some carving of the timber itself. And then there's some tools, a chisel, a mallet, a plane. People have used these tools to make the furniture, which you'll all see later on in the year. And this is the bit I like the best. This is my footprint. Because the carbon footprint of this tree has been measured as well. And that's up there, 4 tonnes. So that's the story of this tree, and I want eventually this to go all mossy and green, so that when you come back, when you're taller than the trees around here, this will be covered in moss and algae, and it will fit in really nicely. And eventually it will rot away. I wanted it to be a bit mysterious, because anybody who sees this who's not invited is going to be a trespasser, aren't they? So I wanted them to wonder what it was here for. We all know what it was here for, but people who pass might be curious and wonder why it's here. But they'll know that something happened here when we cut this tree down. And that was the important bit. So a bit later on, once you've planted your tree, come up and have a look at it and have a feel. Okay?
I think we must congratulate Mr. Clements on this fascinating piece of work. It's really historic, it's wonderful.
That tree will grow.
That tree will grow.
So tall and high.
So tall and high.
That tree will grow.
That tree will grow.
So tall and high.
So tall and high.
Roots in the earth.
Roots in the earth.
Leaves in the sky.
Leaves in the sky.
And the birds will fly.
And the birds will fly.
From the east to the west.
From the east to the west.
And the birds will fly.
And the birds will fly.
From the east to the west.
From the east to the west.
And the birds will fly.
And the birds will fly.
From the east to the west.
From the east to the west.
Gonna choose my tree.
Gonna choose my tree.
To build their nest.
To build their nest.
From the acorn to the oak.
From the acorn to the oak.
From the seed to the tree.
From the seed to the tree.
From the acorn to the oak.
From the acorn to the oak.
From the seed to the tree.
From the seed to the tree.
From the acorn to the oak.
From the acorn to the oak.
From the seed to the tree.
From the seed to the tree.
We're planting a forest.
We're planting a forest.
For you and me.
For you and me.
Gonna take my spade.
Gonna take my spade.
Dig a hole in the ground.
Dig a hole in the ground.
Gonna take my spade.
Gonna take my spade.
Dig a hole in the ground.
Dig a hole in the ground.
Gonna take my spade.
Gonna take my spade.
Dig a hole in the ground.
Dig a hole in the ground.
Gonna plant a tree.
Gonna plant a tree.
For the spring comes round.
For the spring comes round.
Then you got more, don't you?
Is it a bit hard? That's it. Once you get down below the first bit. Go as deep as you can, right down.
Yeah, you can't make it big. I got a tree. I don't want to get out.
Hold these.
Now, it.
Then deep.
And hold it up.
Hold it.
Hold it.
Hang on.
What?
You knocked it.
Doctor.
You want to stand round?
Stand on it. Just very gently. Yeah.
Come on, sir, watch your teeth. That's it.
Now you stop it. Can we just plant our tree there? I have a big tree. I have two.
Right.
Ah, reckon that would be enough?
Very good. Look what you're doing, lads. You're going to tread on it, so be careful. Right, good.
put that in with that big sledgehammer thing.
Yeah, we'll put that in. Stick that down now.
I like this part, it's fun. It's funny.
There you go, one tube for you.
Yay. Well, that was the top.
Can you help him with the tube? That would just guide them. That's great, that's great. Camouflage hat man. Okay, big smiles, everybody, big smiles, that's it. Stay there.
They did Christmas stuff, but they did lots of stuff.
It's sunny, yeah? It's sunny, it's warm. I want to do better shot and it's still cold.
Accessible stuff. Yeah.
It makes no sense. Yeah, when you're walking around there, it's cold. Now it's freezing.